A lot of people don't realize that one of the coolest things about SpaceX is that it could enable really fast Earth-to-Earth transport. Some people don't care about going to Mars, right? But they would care about getting on one of Elon's starships in New York and heading to the other side of the world in under an hour. We're talking about LA to New York, which usually would take over 5 hours, in 25 minutes. Bangkok to Dubai, 27 minutes. Tokyo to Singapore, 28 minutes. London to New York, 29 minutes. And the list goes on. Pretty impressive stuff. This video is brought to you by Brain.fm. It's focus music. I love it. It's linked below. We'll talk more about it later. I feel like this is the physical version of what Zoom calls kind of ended up doing. Zoom connected people who weren't next to each other geographically instantly. So it made distance matter less. And I feel like this is making distance here terrestrially matter a bit less also, because what used to take you so long that it would be not feasible for a lot of people to get on a plane and go, even if you're like a business person, you can have all the money in the world, but you don't have all the time in the world. Here, it's like you can regain a lot of time in some really interesting ways. Plus, I gotta say, this looks kind of fun. You know, there's sort of this port and you load in and the rocket actually takes off, goes into space, cruises around probably at a low Earth orbit. I'm not sure how high it actually goes. Maybe it doesn't even get quite all the way into orbit. I have no idea. And then you land again at another dock on the other side of the planet. That's absolutely incredible. Super sci-fi stuff here. And this has actually been out for a while, this animation, this notion. You know, Elon's talked about this, SpaceX has definitely talked about this before. But a lot of people I find are just unaware of it and should be aware of it because it's just that interesting. Now, you got a lot of people who are like, what about the cost? It's gonna be really high costs. You know, not everyone's gonna be able to afford this. Yeah. All of that stuff is true, right? Initially, at least. Things are always expensive until they scale up and then the price comes down. That's how it works. So not a huge revelation there. Not a reason not to do it. But also, can you imagine if worldwide travel was as fast as a commute? Like your commute to work, and you could just go all the way around the world, halfway around the world, in the time it would take to normally just commute to the office. This is pretty crazy stuff. A lot of people have pointed out it might be more doable if you were able to have chopsticks in infrastructure, which is, you know, big Mechazilla arms that catch the falling spaceship, the spaceship that's hurtling through space and falling out of space. And you can see right now a video of that as it's using its thrusters and engine to slow down so that it doesn't impact either the planet or Mechazilla there, and the arms catch it. Maybe that would make this a lot more doable. A lot of people have a lot of reasons to dislike things that Elon's doing, SpaceX is doing, and then there's everyone else who's like, hey, I want cool new technology, and the future should maybe feel like the future, and maybe we shouldn't just regulate everything to death. Elon has this good point about how there's a lot of regulations that get put in place, and those laws never go away. So eventually, you just sort of die the death of regulation because things change, but the laws don't. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel like this goes along with some of the other clips that we've been talking about today, where it's just this ambitious vision for the future, and it feels exciting again. So I just wanted to bring it up because I feel excited by it. Now, very quickly, let me mention our sponsor, Brain.fm. Focus music. It's perfect for deep work, being creative, learning. It can help you focus in as little as 5 minutes, and it's science-backed. As you can see here, it actually does produce real results. People love it. I love it. I use it all the time. So you should definitely grab your 30-day free trial using the link down in the description. You can go to brain.fm/dailytech, daily TEKK. That's brain.fm/dailytekk.